The Ventura County ice raid debacle, a tale of illegal stupidity. Well, folks, grab your popcorn and a stiff drink because we got a doozy from over the weekend. That's just begging for a YouTube reaction video. All right, picture this. Ventura County, California, where the sun sets over fields of hypocrisy and the air smells of sanctimonious tears. ICE agents rolled into town on a mission: capture, arrest, and deport illegal aliens who've been thumbing their noses at our laws. Now, standard procedure, right? But oh no, things took a turn for the dramatic when some of these border-jumping geniuses decided to play a real-life game of catch me if you can. My name is Sirius. This is Unfluenced. Mainstream media is getting a little desperate trying to find new victims for you to feel sorry for. Now enter Jaime Garcia, or Jaime, as they say it in the news. The poster child for this tragic comic mess. This guy, in a brilliant display of decision-making, tried to hightail it out of there and, surprise, somehow plummeted 30 feet off a building. The landing? Yeah, not so graceful. He smashed his spine and fractured his skull, leaving him on life support, clinging to a thread while the media weeps like it's the end of a Hallmark movie.
One of her family members is on life support after being injured in that raid in Camarillo.
She says Jaime Garcia was being chased by federal agents when he fell 30 feet off a building. Garcia was taken to the hospital with a broken neck and skull. Garcia's family says he was working at the farm to send money home to his wife and daughter in Mexico. He's currently on life support. His family says he's not expected to survive.
The news reports I saw were practically drowning in sorrow, painting this, air quotes, Mexico father as the salt of the earth, a hardworking saint who only wanted to send money back to his wife and his daughter. Now cue the violins and sob stories, and how could this happen to such a great guy? Hold up, pump the brakes, let's slap some reality into this narrative. The real headline here isn't tragic hero falls. No, the real headline, illegal man dies while committing crime. Let's get the facts straight, because the mainstream media's sob fest is about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Jaime Garcia illegally crossed our border, trespassed into the United States without permission. He was working without a permit, which isn't just a slap on the wrist, it's a blatant theft of jobs from American citizens who actually want to work and play by the rules. This isn't a noble family man. This is a scumbag who decided our country was his personal piggy bank. Oh, what's the matter, Jamie? No jobs in Mexico? Oh, please. I happen to know because I've done a little bit of homework, and Mexico has plenty of opportunities. They grow crops galore down there. Tons of farm work, if that's your thing. And if manual labor isn't your speed, they've got a thriving restaurant scene too. Buffalo Wild Wings, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, even Starbucks. Yep, all of those American franchises are humming along south of the border. They're offering jobs to folks who didn't have to break our laws to get them. So why the illegal trek north? Well, because it's easier to freeload here. That's why. But here's the kicker. This guy does have a family. And we know this because every dime he earned got wired straight to Mexico. That's right. He's not just stealing jobs. He's siphoning the proceeds out of our communities to feed his wife and daughter back home. So not only is he taking bread off American tables, but he's sending our hard-earned cash to a different country, leaving the local economy high and dry. Yeah, nice guy, right? Now let's talk about the horrific injury, because this is where the story gets downright absurd. The dude probably leapt off that building while running from ICE, and the videos floating around back this up. Now, when ICE agents show up, they don't play cowboy. They slap cuffs on the illegal alien, they toss them into an air-conditioned SUV, and they haul them to a processing center. From there, it's a one-way ticket back home. No one dies in ICE custody. Sure, it might be a tad uncomfortable, and yeah, you might get a little anxiety, but it's about as safe as a trip to the DMV. So what was going on through Jaime's head, before the concrete? Let's break it down. He had two choices. Option one, get arrested, get deported, and be reunited with his family in Mexico. Simple, legal, humane. But option two, do whatever reckless stunt necessary to evade capture so he could stick around and commit more crimes later. And what did he pick? Hey, door number two, folks. This wasn't an accident. It was self-inflicted stupidity. He was willing to hurl himself off a 30-foot building just to keep breaking our laws. Being illegal wasn't just his status. It was his entire reason for living. This guy never had any intention of playing by the rules. He was all about the hustle. Look where it got him. And here's the part that really gets my blood boiling. The mainstream media wants you to feel sorry for this guy. Yeah, they're out there with their crocodile tears, spinning tales of a hardworking family man struck down by cruel fate. Give me a break. This isn't a tragedy. This is a consequence. Jaime Garcia's actions led to his downfall. And the media's narrative is a blatant attempt to guilt trip you into sympathy for a criminal again. They're not telling you about the Americans out of work because of him, or the tax dollars wasted on his hospital stay. No, it's all about the poor Mexico father. Yeah, I'm sick of it. Let's dig a little bit deeper into this mess, because there's even more to unpack. The media's portrayal of Jaime as some angelic figure is laughable when you consider the bigger picture. Illegal immigration isn't just about one guy falling off a roof. It's a systemic issue that's been bleeding our country dry for years. Jaime wasn't some rare outlier. He's part of a wave of illegals who flooded in, taking jobs, draining resources, and sending money overseas. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce might argue that immigrants fill labor shortages. Let's be real. Those jobs could go to Americans if the government stopped turning a blind eye. Now, what about the farm he worked at? Glass House Farms. Now, previous reports suggest they've been under scrutiny for labor violations, including employing minors. So Jaime wasn't just breaking immigration laws. He was quite likely part of an operation that exploited vulnerable workers, including children. Yet the media's main focus is his tragic fall. Oh no, not the shady business practices that put him on that roof in the first place. Boy, that's awfully convenient, isn't it? Then there's the reaction from the pro-immigrant crowd. Now, protesters clashed with the ICE agents during the raid, turning a lawful operation into a circus. They're crying about terrorizing communities. Yeah, but who's really at fault here? The agents enforcing the law, or the illegals who created the need for enforcement by breaking the actual laws? The United Farm Workers Union jumped in with their sob story, claiming Jaime's death, yes, he has since passed, more on that later, was a result of cruel federal actions. Cruel? Cruel? How about the cruelty of illegal labor undercutting wages for legal workers? This hypocrisy is thicker than the smog over LA. And let's not gloss over the injury itself. A 30-foot fall, that is not a misstep. That's a deliberate act of desperation. The Department of Homeland Security clarified that Jaime wasn't being chased when he climbed up there. He did this on his own accord, likely panicking as the net closed in. So while the media paints ICE as the villains, the truth is Jaime's own choices sealed his fate. He could have walked out with his hands up, but instead he chose a death-defying leap. Give this guy a Darwin Award, huh? The news outlets, ABC7, CNN, NBC, you name it, they were bending over backwards to canonize this guy. Man on life support from injury during immigration raid, they wailed with somber anchors staring into the camera like it's a funeral service. They trotted out his family's tearful pleas, emphasizing how he sent money to his wife and daughter in Mexico. Oh, the humanity! But let's flip that script. The money he sent, it's blood money. Siphoned from American economy he had no right to exploit. His family, they might miss him, but they're beneficiaries from all of his illegal hustles. They're not victims of some injustice. The narrative they're pushing is a classic guilt trip. Feel bad for the illegal immigrant because he's a good man with a family. But good men don't break into countries and steal opportunities. Good men don't risk their lives jumping off buildings to avoid accountability. The media's selective storytelling ignores the bigger issue. Illegal immigration costs taxpayers billions annually. Housing, healthcare, education, you name it. A 2023 estimate from the Federation of American Immigration Reform pegged the net cost at over $150 billion each year. Now, Jaime's hospital stay alone with its life support bills, it's a drop in that bucket, but it's a drop that we're forced to pay. So let's talk about that family man angle. Sure, he supported his wife and daughter, but at what cost? American workers, legal residents who pay taxes and follow the law lose out every time an illegal takes a job. The construction worker in Texas, the farmhand in Iowa, the cashier in Florida, they're the ones sidelined while Jaime wires his earnings south of the border. The media won't tell you that, though. They'd rather you see him as a martyr instead of a mooch. All right, let's wrap this up with a little gut punch of truth and a rallying cry to keep the momentum going. Jaime Garcia's story isn't a tragedy, it's a wake-up call. The ICE raid in Ventura County and his subsequent death after being taken off life support isn't a fluke. It's a sign that the system is finally waking up to the mess that we've let fester in this country. And here's the good news. It's working. ICE raids and deportations are chipping away at the illegal immigration crisis. And it's about damn time we doubled down. First off, this is legal. The U.S. Constitution and federal laws give the government every right to secure our borders and deport those who enter without permission. Title 8 of the U.S. Code, Section 1227, spells it out. Illegal entry is a deportable offense. The Trump administration's mass deportation campaign, backed by Congress with funding for tens of thousands of detention beds, is operating within the law. Those 319 arrests at Glass House Farms, legal. The processing centers, legal. The SUVs with their air conditioning, legal. Jaime's fall was his choice, not ICE's doing, and the agents followed protocol by calling a medevac. The law's on our side, and it's high time we used it to protect our citizens, American citizens. Second, it's necessary. Illegal immigration isn't just a numbers game. It's a drain on our resources and a threat to our security. The Ventura raid uncovered 10 immigrant children. That hints at exploitation by employers like Glass House Farms. It's not compassion. That is a crime ring with children. Now, deportations cut off this pipeline, ensuring jobs go to Americans and tax dollars stay here. Jaime's case shows the stakes. A man willing to risk his life to stay illegal isn't here to assimilate. He's here to exploit. Every raid that sends these folks back home is a step towards reclaiming our economy and our safety. The media will cry foul, but don't buy it. They'll spin tales of broken families while ignoring the families broken by crime and unemployment here. The protests in Ventura, it's a sideshow to distract you from the real issue. ICE isn't the enemy. The enemy is a system that's let illegals like Jaime thrive here for too long. With each deportation, we send a message: follow the law or face the consequences. So what do? Simple. Keep the pressure on. Demand more raids, more deportations, more accountability. Call your reps, share this video, spread the word. The mess won't clean itself, but with every illegal sent packing, we're one step closer to a country that works for its people, not for those who sneak in and steal. Jaime's fall was his own doing, but his story can be our rallying point. Let's keep the momentum, stay legal, stay necessary. The border is ours. Let's take it back. If you agree with anything I said today, did I earn a like, a follow? Help me up. I gotta keep making these videos and I hope you guys enjoy them. I got more comments, so I'll see you soon.